Another throne to add to the throne collection at Extreme Collectibles. As you guys know, my throne collection used to be behind me. Now it's in the entryway of the man cave. Eventually you'll get a tour of the entryway. I am actually having a custom hidden shelf like Batman to get into the man cave built. So wife doesn't know, but she doesn't watch the channel anyway, so Extreme Collectibles here with Sideshow's Ultron on Throne Comiket. I don't know what a Comiket is, but this is a Comiket. Recently in a review, which this will probably be aired at a much later time, we talked about what's a maquette, and we really didn't come up with an answer. I think Comiket's kind of the same thing. I do know with Sideshow, premium format is typically quarter scale. So this, I believe, is 1/5 scale, which I might have to look it up, but which is kind of a bummer because all my other thrones, with the exception of 1/3 scale I ordered, the Predator one, is 1/4 scale. So for you math majors out there, 1/5 is actually smaller than 1/4 and smaller than 1/3. I was actually explaining that to my kids. I'm trying to remember why. Maybe it was when we were unboxing this. So I was going to do an assembly video just recently, and again, this is probably airing much later. I did an assembly video of Dark Phoenix, and people seem to like that. So, you know what? Let's just do it. Ready? I hope you enjoyed yourself. So obviously pretty easy to assemble. I purchased him to add to my ever-growing throne collection. I was very hesitant because he is 1/5. And first, before I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Where'd that expression? Who puts cats in a bag? Actually, long time ago, I don't want to reveal that because it's too much personal information. Someone killed an animal with a bag. That was the story that it was going to. And it was posted on public media. But I purchased him to add to my ever-growing throne collection. I was hesitant because he's 1/5. He's actually going to go in a Magicase DF-120 with Thanos, Loki, and Ultron all on thrones. So that's kind of cool, you know, a tribute to the first MCU Avenger movies, the first three villains, where Ultron is an Avenger villain, obviously. He is an artificial intelligent robotic organism that can, you know, control multiple bodies. You know what's interesting to me as I think about this? All of these... My mic wasn't on again. It actually was on at the beginning, and then I got a phone call I had to take. Very rarely do I drop a review for a phone call, but this person was important. So, every movie that talks about artificial intelligence, Terminator, Matrix, Avengers, Age of Ultron, and there's countless more, all of the robots or the artificial intelligence want to wipe out humankind because humankind is a threat. And I really think that it's highly possible that artificial intelligence will be established in the next few hundred years, maybe even sooner than that. So this might be something the robots are watching 100 and 200 years from now. But it's interesting how they always fall into that same theme. Make comments on that if you have any thoughts on that. But Sideshow made 1,000 of the collector's edition. They made 500 of the exclusive. To me, this is really an exclusive or fail. It's one that you just have to have it. So let me show the collector's edition. The difference is the collector's edition and the exclusive edition comes with this switch out right here where he's holding Ant-Man's helmet, which is kind of neat. And then the exclusive, the 500 made, he's holding Vision's head. So the reason I like the exclusive so much better is because A, Vision's kind of more of a bigger adversary to Ultron than Ant-Man is, and two, it's actually Vision's head, not just his helmet. It's kind of weird he'd be staring at a helmet, with some exception, like XM Magneto Throne, which I have. You know, I understand why he'd be staring at, you know, Professor X's head or one of the or helmet or one of the switch outs that they have there. I have the switch out where he's holding the Doctor Doom helmet. So it originally retailed for $350. Right now you can get it anywhere from about that price on up to $800. The exclusive goes a little bit more. I got it about $400 on eBay. Good transaction, came a little dusty, but that's no big deal. And FedEx really pissed me off because I have everything delivered to my office, and you know, people are there till 5 or 6. I'm usually not, but they twice, 2 days in a row, they said that the office was closed, which I know wasn't true. They said that like at 3 o'clock, and they never left any delivery notices. So either they're too stupid to find out where the place they go every day is, because you know how much stuff I've delivered, or they're too lazy. And if you work for FedEx, again, I'm talking about this specific delivery person, not you, or if you work for any other organization that delivers. But really easy to assemble. He comes in 3 pieces plus the 4th switch out. And let's just talk about it. Let's talk about the concept and the design. I think there's some pros and cons here. So first, from the design wise, the key that he goes into is a little bit loose. So you see he can move back and forth. And that actually has caused a few scratches on the bottom of the base here, which is what it is. But the cool thing is, you're going to see in some of the close-ups, there's actually age scratching on the paint everywhere else. So it kind of blends in. Not really a huge deal. But design-wise, it's interesting to me. I think this is my first and only throne piece. I have to look at XM Mags that he is actually attached to the throne. Typically, you don't see that. And I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. The attachment site is really good. It's not blended together or anything. So I think that's a prop. But conceptually, this is Ultron. Ultron is a big villain in the Marvel Universe, so especially antagonist to an enemy to the Avengers. And here he is sitting in a throne. Typically, whenever you have a character that's seated in a throne, they're very victorious. They've just conquered the world or accomplished their mission or whatever you want to call it. Maybe it's the end of times. And a lot of throne pieces like this one have it where he has vanquished his enemy and his enemy is somehow incorporated into the throne. Here it is. It's incorporated into his hand. He ripped off Vision's head and he's just staring at it, and he's very vicious. I really like it. This is the comic portrayal of Ultron, so not the MCU, the cinematic version. I like both of them. I was never a big follower of Ultron in the comics. However, I really liked him in the MCU.
You're all puppets, tangled in strings. There are no strings on me.
I was either going to get this, because it goes with my throne collection, even though it's much smaller. And actually, you know, let's do a scale picture. Here's a, I'll take one in a minute, but we'll throw it up right now. This is a picture of what he looks like. A little cramped in there, so I'll have to move things around a little bit more. But to kind of give you an idea, these 3 Avenger villains together on thrones. Or I was going to get the XM one they teased, but I'm not 100% sold on that because I have a big Avengers collection too. So I might just keep one bad guy in the middle of that, and I have the Iron Studios Thanos quarter scale from Infinity War. So very cool concept, very cool design. I like it a lot, and the fact that it is smaller, it doesn't take up much room. So a lot of these throne pieces are just massive. They're taking up so much room. So really excited about that. Let's jump into the paint and sculpt here, and I think they did a really good job. I'm really pleased with this statue, especially for the price I got it for. Starting at the base, so this is kind of a robotic engineered futuristic base. So color-wise, there's not a lot to it. It's silvers and blacks, and they're kind of dotted in there. And you can see some of the wearing or scratches that I talked about to kind of give it that age. And there's almost some circuitry and vents throughout. It's not bad. It's simplistic, but it looks good. And then I specifically want to talk about his chair first, kind of keep it on that. So the chair, colorization-wise, follows a lot of what we just talked about on the base. But you have so many different things going on to this chair. There's all these kind of appendages coming out, or screws, or coils, or or, you know, connections. It's kind of an interesting throne. It almost looks like a spaceship that he's driving, like a cockpit chair, which maybe it is, I don't know. But maybe he's ruling the world from this and he controls other facets through it. But you see all these differences, and I'm kind of just showing pictures here because there's not really, it's hard to put into words what is going on with this throne. And then they have, of course, has that red backing. I like the colors they used on it. Cool paint. Really makes it look like a chair and a throne, which obviously a robot wouldn't need to sit down, but adds to the design. Then Ultron himself, so he's much, much lighter. Let's look at some just shades of his armor here. Other than his really dark boots, very similar paint job, but it differentiates. It's similar to the chair, but it differentiates. So I like it. It's a little more clean, which is nice, other than I don't know why his boots are so dark. One thing we didn't talk about on the design is his feet are not flat with the chair, which is interesting. Obviously it's intentional, but I don't quite understand that. But to each his own, I guess. That's what they wanted to do. But good anatomy, moving up his legs, very humanoid, very humanoid, I guess is the best phrase for that. And then I like the different layers of plating and armor that they have, and you can see where it's kind of screwed in. And then I even like the anatomy up where his abdominals are. Makes him look fit. Obviously he's a robot. But same thing with his chest plates. Really simplistic statue, but I like it a lot. His arms, again, a lot of that same metalworking that you saw on his abs or his knees. Plates that go over each other and you see the screws where they go in. Then I really like his hands. They did a great job, really robotic-like hands. His fingers seem a little short, but then I look at Vision's head. You saw Ant-Man's head earlier. I really like this. I like the expression on Vision's head. It's very lifeless, very defeated, and the colors really just pop. Very true to Vision. I haven't found a good quarter-scale Vision I like yet that I can get for a good price. Fantastic job on Vision's portrait, I think, especially when you talk about the theme of the statue. And then same thing with Ultron. I really like I said, they were able to make a robot face look sinister and evil. And really it's just those colors that they've matched the rest of the body, and then kind of that red all over from the inside of his mouth, and it's actually leached out over his eyes. And I don't know why they did that, but I think I like it. Really good job on his portrait. So as I said, pretty simplistic statue, but it does a lot. Doesn't take very long to review because there's not really a lot there, but I think this piece is pretty underrated for how cheap it goes for. So very happy I got it. Very happy that you're here to share this moment with me. So romantic. Anyway, let me know what you think of this piece. Let me know what throne pieces you have. That'd be a good topic. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Only about 50% of my viewers are subscribers. And hit that bell. I put up content at least every other day, if not more often. And July and August are going to be a crazy month for new pieces coming in too. Hopefully this airs sometime in July or August. It could be September, October. So thanks so much for watching. Take care.